Welcome back to my channel African Story Nova. In the heart of Oberland Market, where voices clashed like drums and colors danced across stalls of yam, spices, and plantain, stood a young woman in a crisp white blouse, tight navy skirt, and shiny heels that clicked sharply on the uneven pavement. Her name was Chidinma Chesum, a name that once meant graceful blessing, but now echoed entitlement and pride. She had just left an interview at SwiftX, one of Nigeria's most promising fintech companies. The role? Assistant project manager. The pay? Enough to silence her noisy neighbors in Ajagunle forever. She believed she had nailed it. Her resume was polished, her English crisp, and her LinkedIn filled with fake humility. As she strutted through the narrow market path, her phone pressed to her ear, she barely noticed the elderly woman with rough hands and dust-covered feet standing by a basket of half-rotten bananas and ground nuts. "Daughter, please, buy some banana, even one. Help an old woman," the woman pleaded, voice soft but desperate. Chidinma stopped, turned, and scoffed. "Are you mad?" "Don't ever touch me again," she barked, brushing her shoulder violently where the woman had gently tapped. "I didn't mean to offend," the old woman started. But Chidinma raised her hand and slapped her, right there in public. The woman stumbled backward into a crate of oranges. "Your type disgusts me," Chidinma hissed. "Lazy, dirty beggars! And you want my money? Do I look like a market woman? I went to Covenant University. I hold a degree in business admin. You should be lucky I even looked your way," she boasted. "I'm Chidinma Chisholm," she said louder, "and soon I'll be managing people like you. Don't ever touch people above your level." She stormed off, flipping her braids, not knowing the storm she had just ignited. The old woman blinked, not in pain, but in realization. A small boy ran to her, helping gather the spilled bananas. "Mama, are you all right?" She nodded. She had heard the name, Chidinma Chisholm, because just an hour before, that same name had been discussed in a boardroom at SwiftX. The elderly woman she had just slapped? She wasn't just a fruit seller. She was Madame Elohor Igo, the founder and majority shareholder of SwiftX Technologies. And Chidinma had just ended her career before it began. Chidinma had always wanted more. Raised in the low-rise flats of Ajagunle, where gutters smelled stronger than perfume and dreams often died before they bloomed, she vowed to escape. She studied by candlelight, borrowed books, and aced her exams. She won a partial scholarship to Covenant University, worked part-time to fund the rest, and graduated top 5 in her class. But somewhere between struggle and success, something broke inside her. The girl who once carried groceries for her neighbors now walked past them like they didn't exist. She mocked her mother's trade of akara and pap, blocked childhood friends on WhatsApp, and told her younger brother, "Don't ever act poor around me." And when she got the call for the SwiftX interview, her ego inflated even further. "This is my moment," she told herself. It was Friday morning when she entered the sleek glass building of SwiftX. From the security to the receptionist, she barely made eye contact. During the interview, she used big buzzwords like synergy, agile scalability, and global mindset. The panel nodded. She smiled confidently. She didn't know that behind a tinted glass wall, one of the panelists was watching silently. Madame Elohor Igo, observing her body language, her tone, her pride. But Elohor didn't say anything that day. She had another test in mind. Later that afternoon, she dressed in her old wrapper and blouse, disguised as a market woman, and went to Oberland to see if the same Chidinma who bragged in the office could respect someone without power. She got her answer with a slap. Chidinma sat at home in her tight bedsitter, refreshing her email every 5 minutes. Then her phone buzzed. Email from SwiftX. Her heart leapt. She clicked. "Dear Miss Chidinma Chisholm, thank you for attending the recent interview at SwiftX. We regret to inform you that your application has been unsuccessful. We prioritize not only excellence, but compassion, humility, and integrity. We wish you well in your future endeavors." Chidinma blinked, hands shaking. "This must be a mistake," she whispered. "I was perfect." But it was no mistake. Minutes later, her phone pinged again. A forwarded video. The market, the slap, her exact words, her face, her name, her arrogance. It had gone viral. The next few weeks were a blur of shame. No company would touch her after that video. Even her old office at Real Time Agency terminated her contract. LinkedIn was flooded with comments. Isn't this the girl who slapped an old woman? So much for being educated? Character is everything. Her bank account drained, jobless, shunned, alone. She stopped answering calls. Her mother came knocking, but she didn't open the door. She cried until her tears dried. She thought of ending it all. But one Sunday morning, while sitting on the floor eating leftover bread, she saw something on Facebook. Madam Elahor Ego to speak at Women in Tech Summit. Topic: the power of kindness in leadership. That's when it hit her. The woman, the market, the fruit basket, the slap. Chidinma collapsed onto the ground, shaking. It took everything in her to rise again. She deleted her old Instagram. She stopped chasing validation. She started volunteering at a community center, tutoring teenagers in math and tech. Quietly. No selfies. No hashtags. She walked to markets and helped elderly women carry goods. Silently. No cameras. She took a data entry job at a struggling startup. $40K a month. No benefits. But she showed up early. Stayed late. She smiled. She apologized to people she once belittled. Even her mother. "Mommy, I'm sorry. For everything." Her mother hugged her tightly. "I never stopped praying for you." Chidinma began to feel human again. One morning, she received a brown envelope. No logo, just her name. To the SwiftX Women in Tech Gala. Held in honor of those who demonstrate strength through humility. Chidinma wore a simple Ankara gown. No wig, no contour, just soft lipstick and a heart that had learned the hard way. As she entered the massive hall, heads turned. Some whispered, some scoffed. But she kept walking. On the stage stood Madame Elahor, regal, radiant. Tonight isn't just about success, it's about growth. It's about redemption. She paused, then looked straight at Chidinma. Some fall hard, but what matters is who they become after the fall. She gestured. "Miss Chidinma Chisholm, please come forward." Chidinma walked, tears glistening. She stood beside the woman she once slapped. Elahor smiled. "You hurt me," she said, "but you've changed. And for that, I honor your courage." She turned to the audience. At SwiftX, we believe in second chances. We are offering Miss Chidinma a new role, not just in tech, but in training our interns in ethics, empathy, and excellence. Chidinma wept, not from shame, but from grace. Today, Chidinma is not the loudest in the room. She's the first to greet the janitor, the one who gives small scholarships to market women's daughters. She still lives modestly, she still volunteers. Because she knows now, success without humility is failure in disguise. And kindness is never beneath anyone. Please like, comment, and support our video, and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you.